Hi, my name is Jolly, and I am the leader behind Aaj Learning Studio. And under the Aaj Learning banner, we have launched English Bolo program, various multifaceted skills program, which will help my students to become and develop their English skills in a nice and wholesome manner. So who am I? I am 60-year-old and I have worked in large companies. I am an MBA and of course I teach English because I have learnt English from a renowned principal of Calcutta. He was the principal of Lamart's Calcutta, one of the topmost schools in Calcutta, and his name was John Christopher Weiss, and he personally taught me English. He was a double MA in Oxford. From there, 30 years back till now, I have worked in the top corporates where communication in English, business communication, presentation skills, and handling change, handling leadership, top leadership of the organization was part of my responsibility. And so, in the last 1 year, when we all went into a lockdown last March 2020, I started out on this journey of teaching English. And in the last 1 year, I have reached more than 50 students. Parents who vouch for me, parents who think I am creating value for their kids, and parents who have referred me multiple times to other people, and most of my students today are through such references. So what's that I do? My focus is on building the basics of the children. That means both written and communication skills and things which will make them do a very positive thing in life, like improving their own skills, improving their life quality, improving how they perform in school, improving on how they communicate socially within their family, with their friends, and with their neighbors. So it is just not English that I teach. I also enable my students to be on top of the current contemporary subjects. So most of my essays would be on contemporary subjects, on things which they like to do and things which they love to talk about. All of my essays and précis or whatever I ask my students to write about are 99% on positive aspects of life. I believe exposing the kids to negative aspects of life is uncalled for when you are teaching them English. This helps in building a positive outlook by my students, and it also helps people to think positively in their day-to-day life. What does my teaching involves? Of course, it involves grammar, it involves composition and comprehension. The basics that I teach is writing paragraph, how to handle introduction and conclusion, how to handle the body of something that you're writing, and how to integrate the flow between the integration and the conclusion. I think that is the key. And finally, when my student has really developed well, I then help him to find his own character, his own way of writing things. I never imposed my way of writing. I never imposed how to write. What I do is, when they write something, I improve on that to show them how they should think beyond what they are now doing. that will help them to improve on how they work, how they think, and how they create value. The objective is, are my students creating value in their lives, in the lives of people whom they interact with, and in the life of the family that they live in? That's very important. And most of my parents today are extremely happy that because of this method of teaching, I am able to bring in a sense of responsibility in the kids. So let's look at some of the programs that I have launched in the last 1 year. The first I would like to talk about, there are a lot of kids who can't pronounce words or complete words in a normal manner. Now, these kids aren't suffering from any problem. It is just that they have a mismatch of the air that flows through their voice box and the lips and the tongue movement. That's it. And what I do? There is no magic treatment with me. I just help the kids to train themselves how to speak properly. So we go through a rigorous method of evaluating all the words of all the S and T and Z words of the alphabets, and they practice it. Along with that, I build in a lot of confidence among them by doing mindfulness building exercises. I show a love and compassion. I think the most important thing for my success in this has been my patience. I never force such kids to speak fast, or why are they speaking slowly. In fact, I tell them to speak at a rhythm that they are able to complete their words, and that's how I manage them. And I've got wonderful feedback from them. Most of them love to be in class with me when I'm teaching them how to take care of their speech. The English Polo program that I have launched is for the general masses, which could be me, you, and everybody else. I have launched it at a price range where even the poorest of the poor can afford to pay for it, meaning a daily wage earner can afford to pay for my curriculum here. This is a completely online program, but how do we help students? We have extensive worksheets available in these programs. So English Bolo program, you can write out all those worksheets and send it to us. We will evaluate those worksheets and revert back and tell you where you are making mistakes for you to understand. For your reading and pronunciation part, you can like I am now recording my voice over this movie that we are going to make. Similarly, the students can record their voice of their pronunciation or their story and send it to us. We will evaluate that and give them a feedback. So the idea is that to make it completely online driven, that saves us on cost. It enables people to study things at their own time. There are many people kids who go out for working, kids who do their household chores, kids who have so many responsibilities at home. Now I can't tell them that you attend this class at this time and then otherwise you won't. So what I have done is I have enabled this program to be downloaded at your own convenience, read at your own convenience, and worksheets completed at your own convenience, so that you are not forced to leave anything. You continue your life doing whatever you are doing and then learn the English language at a price which you can afford, which anybody else can afford. And there are 5 levels that we have introduced here. A basic level which talks about the alphabets and nursery rhymes and so on. And the beginner's course, which is like pre-class 1, which will talk about some of the sentences and nouns and adjectives and some basic verbs. And then the primary, middle school and senior school English course, which have the complete range of grammar, composition, picture stories, vocabulary, and everything that would make a person. Uh, a person who goes through 1 year of this program will be able to understand everything. That means what I am saying is that if somebody does a 3 year or a 4 year program with us, he will be able to top the English language skill, and that's a promise, because all our work, although it will be behind the scene, but it will be prompt in giving feedback to children as to how they're doing and what they should be doing, how they are speaking, so that we handhold them throughout the year. Besides that, we have English this program through various native languages. In the current program, we have launched 3, but every month we'll keep on adding. The plan is that by 2022, this English curriculum, of course, will be available to people across all Indian languages. So it doesn't matter what is your mother tongue, we will still help you to learn this language easily, and to learn this language in a manner that will help you to become a master in the English language. You can subscribe to our course using the links given here on English Bolo. aajlearning.proctor.com, or you can leave us a message at facebook.com aajlearning, and we will be able to help you out in that. In this presentation, you will see a phone number. If you have any problem on anything, or if you need any clarifications on anything, please feel free to call us and speak to us. We have consciously not left any email because we want you to talk to us. Please pick up your phone and call us and seek all your answers. We will be happy to help you. In addition to the regular courses for those kids who are fairly advanced in their language skills, we have some of the most unique opportunities of polishing those skills during the summer vacation or anytime they feel need to. One of the top is a debating skill, which when we grow up, and as we grow up, we meet into corporate life, or we get into competitive exams. Debating skills are something which is important and will be required for most of life. Even today, I debate with my students in terms of the subjects that we talk about. In corporates, you'll be debating about policies, and you'll be debating about principles, how to go about debating, how to strengthen your skills, how to research, how to create your punchline, how to bring in your humor, what diction to use, in the sense how will you address people, what style you need to develop, are something that we teach you here. In addition to debating, if you want, we can help you in public speaking. Public speaking is all about oral communication and storytelling. Your body posture, how do you stand, how do you build a climax, how do you make pauses, how do you take breaks to enable people to think and to enable people to work and work on what questions to ask you, are some very key important things. We help you to become a great public speaker. We have a session for spoken English. We teach everybody at all levels. Whatever be the level, we teach spoken English to them, how to read, how to speak, how to be oral, how to not to be flowery to begin with, how to get your basics in place when you're speaking. The next is about storytelling. I think this is a key aspect. We have all gone through this storytelling. When we were a kid, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, we would have loved to listen to our parents tell the story. And the same story we would keep on listening for days and months and years together. Even today, after 40 years of my father's passing away, I remember what stories he used to tell us and how we loved those stories. So storytelling is an art, and you need to learn it. And there's a practice of doing it, how to keep your children engaged, how to keep the others engaged. Maybe you are telling a story to an adult audience, how to keep them engaged, how to connect with them, how to connect with kids, how to set up the scene, how do you describe what is written in the story, visually how do you describe it. Now these are certain aspects that we teach you in the storytelling. What we do in next is about writing. So the first step would be about writing skills that we help our students develop. Paragraph writing, essay writing, story writing, letter writing, whether it is part of your curriculum or it's part of your own individual desire. We teach you everything. How do you write a notice? How do you do poetry comprehension? What do you do in précis writing? And how do you do a passage comprehension? So composition and comprehension is what we start with. And once you start flourishing in that, we go to the next level of content writing. Now each of these courses you can take separately. In content writing, we actually help you in dealing with good quality contents, how to write, how to maintain the flow, how to maintain the style, how to create the character, what depths does your story need to go into, how cohesive should be the characters, or do you want to do a loose fitting content, or how do you go about researching the whole thing. Suppose you're writing a content on some ancient times, so how do you research, how do you find the stuff, how do you connect the dots, and how do you work hard to write your content. Many people believe content writing is just copy paste from the net. Most of us do it like that. If you want to be successful in content writing, is to analyze those contents which you gather from the net. So information has been old since the ages. It is totally up to us how do we interpret that information, and that is content writing. The second part of his content writing is how do we integrate the story, right from our first line to the last concluding line. How tightly knit is the story, and that determines the quality of what you have written, and that determines our teaching as to how we have taught you. Thank you so much for going through this presentation. Please call us, talk to us, find out from us. All calls are welcome. And voice-to-voice communication helps you to understand us. It helps us to understand you. What is it that you seek? If it is not there, part of this curriculum, we'll create something that will help you to become a good person, a good knowledgeable person of the English language. Namaskar.